Hello and welcome to the Battle Systems tutorial video for the Maladum expansion of the Forbidden Creed. This is an absolutely awesome set. Today we're going to be dealing specifically with, just in this video, the terrain and how you can integrate that, put the various unique pieces together and integrate it into your normal Maladum terrain setups. But just this is an amazing set. It's got a whole bunch of really cool miniatures in there, including the really nice big Ascendant and the Maladite Golem, and then you've got all these unique companions, plus their rules and their cards and counters and everything you need, and the unique dice, etc. But again, just the terrain we're going to deal with here, and it is awesome terrain, and it's quite a lot that can really add quite a lot to your Maladum set. So without further ado, I think what we should do is open this up and get straight to the terrain inside. So I have the terrain here, which I've removed from the box, and you're going to get some clips of this as well. So if I just open this up, oops, somewhere in here, we have a little bag of clips. Now obviously if you've got this set, you've already got Maladum, so these are just a few extra clips just to give you a little bit of variety if you want to really extend across a couple of mats or anything. You've probably got enough clips in your core set to make all this work, but we might as well give you a few extra clips when we're providing a considerable amount of terrain, especially when it's kind of got a lot of walls and things that are going to require those clips. So I'm going to put those to one side. They're going to help me in a moment, I'm sure. Then we've got the sheets themselves. So we've got this sheet here, which is a unique sheet, which has got various cool stuff on it. This is also a unique sheet. So this one's just called Forbidden Creed Terrain. This one's called Forbidden Creed Terrain 2, and again it's got some unique parts on here that are only going to be repeated once. Then we've got Forbidden Creed Terrain Sheet 3, and there are 2 of those sheets in here, and this is mostly going to be the content of your walls and your ruined walls and a few little bits of scatter. Then we've got the Terrain Sheet 4, and Terrain Sheet 4, there are 2 of these that have got some kind of unique things on there, but we wanted 2 of them, like these pillars here and these nice bridge walkways and these nice high kind of struts with the braziers on them. So what we'll do is we'll start with these 2 sheets here, and we're going to start with this big item here, a big sepulchre. It's kind of like a big sarcophagus basically. So I'm going to pop out all the parts here, and it's clearly labelled, and then we're going to stick this thing together because it's really, really cool. It's a lovely centerpiece. So let's get started with that. Okay, so here's all the parts here. We're basically going to pop this thing together. The easiest thing to start with are the sides here, and you'll notice that there's always with our items, we've always got a stamp side and a reverse side. So basically this is, you'll be able to tell when you're looking at the sheet that the stamp side is where the blades go into the sheet this way, and the non-stamp side or reverse side is where you can't see where the blades have cut through this sheet. And when they cut through the sheet on the stamp side, it curves the card really nicely, and so we always have the curved side, the stamp side, facing out. So we're going to assemble this, and if you've ever assembled any of our crates, it's really just a case of just popping these bits into here to make the sides, as it were. So we'll go ahead and do that. And with this set, this kind of main body has got like a chamfer to it to give it a little bit, so rather than just being straight up, it's got a nice chamfer on, which is really cool. And also a point of note is that when you're popping this off the sheet, there are some very tiny little slots around here, and they're going to locate with these little nubbins here, and you'll see that we've got this rather long arm sticking out here, and what's going to happen is we're going to that's going to line up with this large piece here that's kind of sticking out. So again, I'd have this stamped side down, stamped side up, so that we've got this nice curve of the stone, and then as you move this into here, you'll feel that that just slots nicely into the bottom of there, which is really cool. And this is already looking absolutely awesome. So we've got that. Then what we've got is we've got the lid to this item. So we're going to pop that on there, and you can see that that sits nicely on the top of there. Then we've got this 3D element, which is we're going to just glue on top of there. That gives it that extra bit of 3D-ness. And there's even this tiny little cut out disc with the same texture on the top of here, and we're going to locate that here, and we're going to glue that on as well, and that really just makes the whole top of this really nice 3D. So I'm going to glue those on, and then we're going to basically just slot this last piece in the side. Los geht's. Okay, so I've glued those on, and that's given this lid a really nice 3D effect. So when I pop that on there, it really brings this thing to life. So lastly is we've got this kind of brazier strut thing that adds light over all of this, and you'll notice that we've got a bottom piece of this. One side's got some lighting on it from the fire, and the other one hasn't, so we're going to make sure the lighting is up, and we're going to gently, because it's a nice thin piece of card here, we're just going to drop that into there, and that's going to make this a little bit more 3D. And then on the side here you've got a little slot just at an angle, and at the back of this we've got a slightly kind of little nubbin sitting at the bottom, and we're just going to kind of slide that into there like that. And then that is going to create this really nice centerpiece, which of course you've then got access to get inside here. And this stays together beautifully, just like that. You can of course glue this onto its base if you like, and then glue this in as well if you want. It's entirely up to you, but I'm very happy with that just as it is. Okay, so a lovely centerpiece. Let's move that off to one side. What have we got next? Well, we can kind of stay on these unique sheets, these two unique sheets, and I think what we'll do is we've got a ruined turret here, so we'll break off the pieces of this ruined turret. If I remember rightly, this goes together in a very specific way, so let's see if we can remember how that works. Okay, so here is this ruined turret. This only goes together a very specific way, otherwise you won't be able to get this little lid on the top, as it were, this top stone surface. So, and what we're basically doing, we're trying to marry up the different areas here. So we've got a rather tall bit here. This is a wall that's got a stone missing from here, a very simple square stone. It's got a tall bit here with lots of kind of autumn vines on it. Then over here we've got a single piece with no bricks missing from it, and this has got another tall single piece here with some vines on it. Then we've got this one which has got like two little wooden pieces, one sticking out here, one sticking up, and another little kind of piece here with a vine on it. Whoops, this also has a little square brick that comes out of it. And then on this side we've got another wall that's got like a couple of bricks that makes this little like S shape here, and this has got two strut pieces sticking up with no vines on it. And I've placed them in this way so that this comes up here and this comes up here, and the thing goes on top. This piece was going to slot on top, and so we are marrying the two vine parts together, the two tall bits with lots of vines on it. So we'll first do this one into here like so, then we're going to bring this one up, and we've got a nice straight edge here with this piece sticking out and a straight edge here, and we're going to marry those up, and that's going to go here like so. And then we've got this piece here which is going to lift up this way and just drop into the front like so. And so what you're left with, you're left with this really tall bit with all of the the vines, if you like, the autumn vines here. You've got a slightly smaller bit, which is mostly just stonework. You've got two bits here, which is mostly just wood, and then this piece here only sticks out the side, it doesn't stick at the top. Then with this piece here, this tall piece with all of the really cool 3D foliage and autumn leaves on it, this is going to require the piece where it's got an open bit, because we require this little piece here to account for all this on this side. And so what we're going to do is we're going to very slowly just manipulate this down. You can see there's no slots here and there's nothing to slot in. I'm going to slot it over the top of these. So we have to kind of line it up as we do it, and it should just slot over the top like so. And we push that down until it's located nice and flat all the way around. Yeah, there we go. And that's it. That's this put together. This is really super strong, and this is going to allow us to have a nice little area to put one of our bridges that we've got. And so speaking of the bridges, we could move on to the bridge next. So but I guess we have got these unique parts here still, these two sheets that are fully just unique and not repeated. So there are various parts on here. A lot of the parts are things like these leaves and these rubble scatters. Okay, these are really basic, just they're just areas that you can, like counters that you can put down. So once you put them on your game mat, it'll create this kind of autumn kind of bunches of leaves scattered around, and they'll look awesome once you've got your once you've actually got your game mat down, and it just adds texture and 3D-ness. The same as all these little bits of rubble as well. You can, you know, you can make little rubble pieces, and and some of these autumn scatters have got like right angles on them, and that's so that when you've got like a wall, you can put them on in the corner to look like gathered leaves in the corner. And you'll find across all of the sheets that, you know, we've got these rubble parts. So I removed it from that one, and then you can see all around here as well we've got lots of rubble. So, you know, if I was to just pop all of those off as quick as I possibly can, and then what it'll do, it'll leave us with just the items which are, you know, not scatter, as it were. I think I've probably missed a bit of rubble somewhere, but no, I think that's it. So just on those sheets alone, you've got all this lovely kind of rubble and scatter. So we're going to want to keep all of that in a baggie, so that we can add some, you know, some dimensions. And across all these other sheets, you'll find more rubble and more bits of leaves and so on and so forth. So that's really, really cool. So after popping off all this kind of noise and scatter, what have we got left? Well, we've got some kind of we've got some wall pieces, but we've also got, because these are the unique sheets, we've also got some pieces which are only used to create a particular structure. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to pop these parts off to show you them, and then I'm going to move on to the other sheets, and I'm just going to talk to you about what's on those other sheets and build some other things. And then at the end, I'm going to come back and I'm going to build this unique structure, as it were, once I've spoken to you about you know, the other walls and things on these sheets. So let's pop these parts off here. Okay, so here's the remaining items from that sheet. Now, the thing about these items is that we've got like a bridge piece. This is generally used for a very unique build, which we'll come back to, as is this. But they can also be used to build, you know, to add a little bit of if you've got a wall that's, you know, going in an L shape like that, that can be just clipped on, and to have some extra areas here and have a little ladder there or whatever. And same with this, you can put this inside of two walls and create more levels and have bits like that. But I'm going to put them to one side, because using this we can also make a particularly unique interesting structure, but it's just an option. So I'll come back to that at the end. So I'm going to remove this piece and this piece, this little piece of scaffolding with the rope on it, this little kind of wooden strut piece here, and also this little piece here, and then I'm gonna put those to one side. What we're left with is this kind of nice archway, and we've also got the this kind of broken arch as well, and these could be used just like ordinary walls, so you can make kind of gothic-y, ruined, structure-y pieces and so on and so forth. So those I'm going to keep to one side now, so I can talk to you about the walls. I'm going to put these right here. And so if I come on to the next sheets, which are again identical, which are our Creed Terrain Sheet 3, of which there are 2. This really is, these really are just walls basically. Some of them are ruined, some of them not. Bits of doors in there. There's a little ladder to get to some of those higher areas that I was speaking about. But I'm just going to pop these off and then just show you that they're just walls. So I'll do that now. Okay, so here's all the walls that I popped off of those sheets. Remembering to watch out for all the little tiny bits of bricks that can come out from these areas as well, to make these ruined bits more interesting. Obviously we've got a couple of doors in here which you can open or close. This one on a ruined wall, the door is broken, but again you can open and close that. Obviously I've still got this here which I'm going to call walls, and then I've got a whole bunch of scatter here. Remember, this is just one sheet's worth, so again I'll put this in a baggie along with my leaves and other rubble, and you just pop this sheet off, which is identical, exactly the same, and it'll just duplicate everything you've got here, so you've got lots and lots of walls to add variety to your normal dungeon. I'm not going to pop that sheet off, you don't need to see that, it's identical. And just like you know, all of the other terrain that we've got, from here you can just make some interesting kind of builds based on, you know, the shape that you want to create with the terrain. So we'll do this and this, and we can have like a broken bit of strut out of here, and this is really where you get the opportunity to bring in some of these pieces from the unique sheet. So I could, for example, maybe bring in this piece here, and if I swap this one out for, you know, a normal wall, so I've got some slots here, I could then put a slot in here, use this slot here with a clip. I could maybe then take a T-clip here and do something like this. I can place that on the top of there very quickly, and then I can pop that on the top of here, and now all of a sudden I'm starting to make my structures, which I could then have the, you know, ladder to access this piece up here, or the bridge we can extend out here, you'll see, and the bridge will come over to this bit and we can extend across these two areas. Lots of options. And you know, even these pieces that we've got here that I've kept off, you can just treat these like, you know, pieces of the terrain. So you could continue this over this way and just create lots of interesting kind of shapes, as it were. Goes the same with this little strut, which was on the unique sheet as well. You might say, well, I just want this little strut that looks like where you might hang someone or something, and this would go over here. So this is really cool. Just like your normal terrain, you can extend this off and you can have stuff going on over here, and this thing goes over here, and you just clip it all together to make these really interesting shapes. Okay, so I don't really need to speak about walls. You can just have as much fun as you like with that. And again, bringing in this unique piece over here, you could probably stick this around here or something, or put it on the top, or if you've got using different clip styles, whatever it is you want to do. But for now, I'll pop that off to one side. And what we're going to do is we're going to leave these here and this little thing over here. And I'm going to move on to this next sheet. So on this next sheet, what we've got is we've got like a little bridge here and a couple of unique pillars and some struts and things, and of course lots of rubble. So we're going to do this bridge first, and there are 2 of these sheets, so I'll build one bridge, and it's very easy, but you'll see that you're going to get 2 of them. So let's pop those parts off. Okay, so here's the bridge base, and these bits. There's some crazy intricate little areas here that you can pop out, and again, if you're nuts like me, I'll keep all of this and put it in a little baggie. I'll find use for it. I can glue it onto something, make it look cool, etc. Or you can chuck it in the bin. It's entirely up to you. Okay, so and all you're going to do with this, keeping stamp sides out, is you're going to slot these onto here. We've got 2 different kind of styles, so we'll keep those styles separate, and if you keep the stamp side out, that should happen naturally so that you don't get any repeating patterns from here. And yeah, you've got this great little bridge, and you can literally just support that against 2 areas. So classic example was this little piece we put together here, and we've got our little piece there. We put that like that, that like that, and then this broken bridge area here then expands across to here onto this, or stick it at a different angle, whichever way you want to work it round, and then have the ladder, which has totally escaped me, coming down here maybe, or maybe you want it over here. Okay, and so you get the idea of that. There's 2 of these bridges, which is great. It adds a lot of extra level to your Maladum core set, which is basically a single level set, and this adds just a little bit of multi level, as it were. So that's really, really cool. So we've handled the bridge. What have we got left on here? Well, we've got some tall struts here, so I'm just going to pop one of these off, because although they're very slightly different, they assemble in exactly the same way. And so, we've basically got a strut, and we've got this little brazier piece here, which you'll see is dark on one side, but has all the lighting on the other side. And careful not to bend this thing. Here we'll push those in together like so until that goes in, and that will create a little brazier part at the top. And again, this will just connect onto walls to make the edges of walls and things look much more interesting, and that will, that's all this is. It's a strut, and you could have one there, and you could have another one coming off an angle. You could have like this centerpiece with with a strut here with a brazier and a brazier, and maybe this guy in the center, as it were, to create this really nice kind of like center objective point, as it were. So yeah, there's a couple of those struts on there, and they add a lot of variety to your set. Then we've got some of these kind of struts here, and again, I'll just pop that off and that one off. These do exactly the same thing. They allow for this really nice kind of just aesthetic, and as it were, to from one part of your dungeon to the other. The other things that that's really cool about these as well is there's a couple of them, and the distance between these is the distance of a single wall. So this is a single wall here, So when these are clipped in, you'll notice they've got a little area that slots in at the top, and so you can make, if you've got more walls coming out this way and coming down here, you can make these really nice kind of little archways out of it, or if it's a bit wider, it could be a wider archway, and so on and so forth. So these have got like a little twofold kind of mechanism's the wrong word, but yeah, I'm gonna go with it. So that's really cool. I love these struts. You'll find these across various sets, especially in our super multi-level dungeon set, which is awesome. So I'll put that to one side. And of course we've got lots more rubble and bits and pieces, another one of these big struts. What I'll do now though is I'll show you this one final thing on this sheet of, and if you remember, we've got two. So we've got two bridges, and we got twice the amount of those struts, and we've also got two of these. This Arcane Pillar. I love this pillar. It's got a lot going on. I'll show you how to assemble it. So I'm going to pop out all the parts of the Arcane Pillar. Okay, so here's the Arcane Pillar. You've got your four sides to it. You've got a little piece at the top, and you need to note that there are some very small little slots, pieces in here that you need to kind of tease out of their little holdings. And then you've got various little surround pieces which are going to both look cool and help hold everything together. And then we've got a little torch which is going to fit in the front of here, and then we've got this little magical flame of Uno, or whatever it is. Okay, so, and you're just going to slot that together like that. That's going to sit on the top in a minute. We'll put that to one side, as we will with this as well. So like many of our items, this goes together in a very simple slot system, just like our crates and things. So I'm going to very quickly just pop that under here, that under here, and that into here. Put it down nice and level, get it together. It's a bit splay at the top, but that's fine, because that's what all of this bits and pieces are for. So first thing we're going to do is we're going to take this piece here. At the moment it's stamped side facing up, the nice curved side, so we're going to flip it this way because I want this curved side coming up here. It doesn't really matter, but you know, if you really want to be perfectionist about it, we want the shape coming upwards. And I'm going to pop that over the top of here, and I'm going to drop it down until it gets to these little nubbin things here, and now we've got this nice top to the pillar, and that already holds it in place. Awesome. Okay, so, and then you can then pop this on the top of there, stamp side facing up, and that creates this nice kind of ridge across the top like that. So you could do that, and then these bits are going to go on the top. However, what you can equally do is you might want this to also go stamp side facing down, stamp side facing down. That creates this nice effect where it steps up, so you've got much more of a gentle wing up to the top like that. So I'll leave it like that. Then you've got this here, and with this one I would go stamp side facing down, so you've got the curvature coming up here, and then this will slot into these little four nubbins at the top, and then finally you can stick that on the top of here, which then creates a nice little lip. And I would have this side stamp facing up, so the curvature goes down and meets this really nicely. And this makes this really awesome pillar. You can see here there's a little kind of flap in here, and what that does is it allows you to, if you like, activate the pillar. So you take the torch from one area of the terrain, you know, march it across like in the Olympics, and then you just pop this into here like so, and once you do that, that's activated, and you can put this flame on top here, and then you've got this pillar, and it's really good for objective points. There's two of these, so it's like light both the pillars to activate your thing that does something else that then thingies what's it over there. Okay, so awesome. I love that pillar. That goes over here, and now I've covered, because there's two of these sheets, I've covered all of the items that are on all of these sheets. So we did say we'll come back to the one unique part, so that you don't need this unique part. It was just something that I wanted to have as a bit more of a centerpiece, and so I added some extra pieces on here. So what we're going to do, I'm going to just collect the pieces that I need, or I think I need, in order to construct this, and then I'll show you how to put this together. So I'm going to grab all the pieces and lay them out. Okay, so here's the parts I need to create the centerpiece, and then what I'm also going to do is I'm just going to pull on some of these normal walls, the ruined bits, and the standard walls as well, so that I can kind of finish it off so it doesn't just look like this block that sits in the middle. It's been a while since I've assembled this, so we're going to discover this together. Oh, and there's a little piece I forgot to pull out of there, so that's going over there. And I have got this pillar here with the brazier thing on it, and this one's quite unique in the fact it's got this little cutout slot here, and what that's going to do when we assemble this, if I remember rightly, it's going to allow us to make sure that this fully fits in here without getting in the way of this piece here, any walls or things that we stick into here. Okay, so here we go. Let's see. So I'm going to try and remember which clips that we're going to need. So let's see if we can do this together. Okay, so this is going to go inside. We're effectively going to create this. Now I'm going to need a wall here, but I'm also going to want a strut sticking out of here. So I think I'm going to use a T-clip for that. I might change that to an X clip in a moment, and then I assume I'm going to need a wall up here as well, albeit a ruined one, so I'm going to do the same. I'm going to put like a T-clip here. Do I then also want to strut out of here? Maybe that would look cool. I'm not sure. Let's try it. I'm going to put an X clip on just in case I decide to build that out. So let's put that on there. I've got another X clip. I just had it in my hand. Oops, it's over here. Okay, that's cool. So I'm going to put that on here. And I don't want a full wall at the top here. I'm going to have a ruined wall, something like that, I know. So I'm going to just very roughly put that in now, like this. And I may or may not then just want to pop a little clip in here. We'll see. And I know that I'm going to want this to go in here like so, which is going to create a kind of a broken inside to this area. I also know that I'm going to want to put this on the outside and some more walls down here. So I'm going to need another ruined wall here and a full wall at the bottom. So I'm going to grab a full wall because I know I need that. Ooh, here it is. And I believe I'm going to need a T-clip here at the bottom with this piece facing forward, and this is so that I'm going to be able to put this little strut on here in a moment, and we're going to have some scaffolding that's going to come across the front of here. So let's leave that off now. I'm going to remember that I need that, and then I know that I'm also going to want a ruined wall across the top of here as well, but I also am going to want to have this pillar kind of slot on here as well, and so as part of that I'm going to use one of these Y clips with the right angle piece on here, so that this is coming out perpendicular, maybe is the word, to this angle here. So I've got this is coming out directly up from here. I think I've got this all right. Now the complicated part is I'm going to want this to fix into here. So it looks like I'm going to need a T-clip here to connect this onto here. I've then got a slot here which I believe we're not going to use because there's nothing to slot in the front here, and I've also got a slot here which is going to be slotted onto this part here, which probably means I'll need an additional X clip, because I also, when I've got this in, I want something for this to be able to clip into. And I'm also going to need an X clip over this side, so that when I pop this on here like so, that this will hold this floor inside here with this slot, but also it means that this, which has also got a slot on it, will hold over here at the same time. Getting this bit round is a little bit tricky. Okay, so what we're going to do is, first of all, we've got to remember that this is going to go in. So we're gonna, we could try it this way. I guess we could put it in here first, and then clip this onto here and kind of here at the same time. So as I put this in, this comes into here like so. And there's a slightly larger cutout on the slot here that should allow that to kind of sit in place as well, which leaves us with, make sure that's fully in, which leaves us with a kind of slotted area here, and there's a little bit of a kind of a plank that sticks out, and that fits just over the top of here nicely, and that should leave this little slot here lining up with another slot here. And what we're going to do is we're going to use that to connect in here. So we're going to need a T-clip here, okay, and then we've already got a clip sitting on the inside to locate this. So if I just lift this a little bit, hopefully you can see this. I'm going to put this large hole here, I'm going to put the T-clip through, and I'm going to secure it in place like so, so it sits there. I'm then going to take this and I'm going to pop it over the top, making sure my little plank fits through here, and now I've got this outside bit on nice and secure. Then I'm going to secure this in place here against these two clips, and now I can see that I don't need a T-clip here to hold on to this at all. So I'm going to grab a simple L clip, and I'm going to pop that on the top of the wall, and I'm simply just going to lift this up and slot that down. That makes that much more sturdy. And the last thing I'm going to do then is I'm going to clip this in, and I'm just going to do that by slotting one side in first. It might be better to do the other one first because I think I've got more give on this side of the wall. So I will pop this in here like so, and then here I'm just going to gently pull this out and get this to slot in, as it were. So like so. And now we have most of this unique kind of centerpiece, which is really cool, big broken arch, etc. So the last thing we want to do is we want to put on a little bit of scaffolding around the front of this to just give it a little bit more character. And so what we've got left is we've got this little strut we spoke about and this piece of scaffolding with the rope on it. So here we're going to need an L clip, and then what we'll do is we will, if we remember rightly, we had a little T-clip that located on here, so we can pop that on over here, and it's kind of a wide slot here so that you've got a little bit of give, and that's going to go on here, add a little bit of support. And then we've also got, whoops, another, and then on this scaffolding we've got an L clip that's going to go in here, and also an L clip that's going to locate itself into here, yes, into here as well. And then we just want to make sure that we don't push this L clip all the way down, because we need it to line up so that cardboard will sit across this top edge. You'll see in a second. And what we're going to do is we're going to basically just clip this into this little slot here, while simultaneously clipping this into this slot here. And if it feels like it's not going in, it is because these planks here that stick out, they're going to stick past here. They're going to stick out past here to create a nice 3D effect. And you've got to make sure that, you know, you've got this little gap here where the rope is, and so that will actually be going sort of over the top of here, so it's all going to pass through. So I'm going to try and do this so that you can see what I'm doing at the same time as me doing it, like so, and get this on here, that goes on here, that goes on here. That's awesome. So now what you've got this really nice centerpiece with some awesome scaffolding set up, nice big arch piece there, and you've got lots of upper level walkway goodness going on. And of course inside here, this would be where you'd, you know, maybe put one of your ladders. You could just do this or rest it in like this, which is really, really cool. Or you could equally put the ladder up over this side. And if we remember rightly, we've still got these T-clip pieces here. So at this point you could say, well, I want this to be even more broken archway over here, and so you have, you know, even more interesting kind of things going on. And you might have this rope bit on the other side like that, or vice versa. You might want, you know, more of this kind of pattern, so it's like the double arch facing out this way. Well, yeah, no problem. Let's put the arch on this side then, and then let's have this piece here facing forward, and this creates this really nice centerpiece from which you can really start to kind of build your terrain up and around, and you add in, you know, your pillar and all the other bits and pieces. So this is a really good, really awesome set, which you can, you know, really adds a massive dimension to your set, as it were, over here. And again, I've still got loads of walls over here off camera, and here, and I've got a whole bunch of, you know, additional bridges and struts and another pillar and everything over here, and an entire sheet of walls over here, and there's another big sort of strut left on this sheet. So loads and loads of terrain. And what you can do is you can just set this up on your mat and make all these lovely ruined areas. You can combine it in with your Maladum set as well, so you've got like half of a normal dungeon that then goes into this ruined area. If you've got 2 mats, you can spread this across 2 mats. It's a really awesome terrain addition. A lot of terrain in the Forbidden Creed set, along with all the awesome miniatures and all the special dark magic and all the other special rules and campaign items that we've got within that. Yeah, I hope you enjoyed the assembly video for this one as much as I have. It's been great to assemble this again. It's been a while since I've designed it, and I'm really loving it. So awesome.